Hey guys, this is Spray and Pray again, and what you see before you is Dungeon Keeper 2. It's a game that I played a while ago when I was a little bit younger. I really liked it and I want to do a Let's Play for you guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about the game. It came out in 1999, so it's not a million years old, but it is pretty old in terms of video games. Now, I'm going to be playing through the single player game up here, but there's also multiplayer mode and my pet dungeon mode. Multiplayer games, they're pretty complicated to set up now because back when this game came out the technology was more like dial-up connections and such. But now it's so you got to like do some very backwards things to get multiplayer games to work. This part, my pet dungeon, is more like a sandbox type mode where there's certain challenges, but not as much as the single-player game, and definitely not as focused. Alright, now we have options and extras and all the other regular stuff. Now, we're going to start to play the single-player game now. We're going to choose New Campaign. Yes. Alright, this is the map. Basically, it marks out each one of these little territories as a level, all the way leading up to the last level. Now, as I hover over them, they protrude from this table, and I'm going to select the first level. Now, there's going to be a voiceover, which I'm going to allow you guys to hear. It's a little bit long, so if you want to just skip through it or whatever, you can just read the objectives. Basically, what he's going to tell you is just a little bit of background about this territory that we're going to invade.
Smilesville. Welcome, Keeper. Before you lies a happy and carefree realm. The local champion, Lord Antonius, holds the first portal gem you require. Learn how to construct a dungeon, and build up your forces so that you can crush Lord Antonius and wipe the smile from his face.
Alright, well that seems like a pretty basic first mission. So, basically, this is the way that we're going to kick off this top-down RTS style game. And I'm going to do this mission. It's going to maybe take a little bit longer than it would take for a pro. But, you know, I want to explain all the little details and stuff so that later when the levels get more complex and take longer that you are able to understand. So here we go.
Behold, your dungeon heart. Protect it well, for if it is destroyed, you will be banished forever from this land. Here walks the goodly Lord Antonius. 'Tis he who holds the precious portal gem, but only when you've mustered strength sufficient should you challenge him and claim your prize. Lair. Hatchery.
Alright guys, we're going to start at this game by talking about the interface.
First, there's money to be
Oh, he
made.
still has to talk some more.
Click on the flashing seam of gold. Your imps will dig out the area you designate.
I'm not going to listen to him right away just because I want to go through the UI with you guys. Up top we have our health meter, which is the health meter of this thing in the middle. You may be wondering what is this huge pulsating thing right in the middle here. It is in fact our dungeon heart, and if we lose our dungeon heart, we lose the game. So that's the objective of the enemies, is to come in here and destroy our dungeon heart. So we do everything in our power to not let that happen. Second is our mana bar. Mana is our way to like cast spells and summon imps and stuff. We have there's a plus and minus bar, which is how much we're spending currently and how much we're taking in. Mana that is being spent by like our imps, which are those little guys scurrying around. They're our workers. But the more workers we have, the more mana it takes per whatever. So it'll take away from our income the more imps we have. We increase our income by claiming territory. As you see these little red squares, that's one of my, like a piece of territory. And that'll bring us to the next section of what I want to tell you about, which is digging. Digging is probably the most important part of the game. You dig by selecting the area, and this is not connected to any of my other areas, so I cannot dig it yet, but it will eventually, if I had conducted it like this, then all of my workers will run over and start to dig away at the terrain. Now they'll break it in these little square places and dig out anything that I've highlighted for them. Okay, so that's the digging, and all those spaces they will go and do a little dance on, and it'll claim it as my own territory. That will increase my mana generation, so that will allow me to have more imps and stuff like that. Next is our payday countdown, which is related to our gold. We have a payday countdown is when like we have creatures in your dungeon. They're only here really for the money. So if you're not going to be so when that payday countdown gets to 0, they all come to your treasure room or your dungeon heart for payday. So they take some of your money for themselves, and
the gold which
and then
can
it'll
be
start
yours
over.
remains unmined.
I know.
Click
you
on a
stupid.
seam of gold to tag it, and your imps will rally to retrieve your
I know
precious
how to play this
currency.
game. This is not the first time I've ever played. Anyway, when payday, the monsters come to get paid when the countdown finishes. Your gold is shown here. Basically, this is how much gold you have, and you get gold by mining these certain dirt things that have the little shiny gold pieces in them. Okay, now we finally finished the top. Now down here we have our usual menu options. Here's the options menu for like quitting the game and stuff. This is a query tool. We can hover over like monsters and stuff, and it'll tell you like his name, his blood group, I don't know what that is, his wage, and how much gold he's actually holding right now. So that's cool. That's a lot of information that you could find out. And also you can rotate the camera, which is why it looks different now. But anyway, continuing.
More gold will be required.
Stop talking.
Mine on until your dungeon heart contains 12,000.
I refuse to listen to you. We're finishing the explanation. Alright. First we have creatures, our creature tab, which shows us all of our workers. Now they can be busy, idle, or fighting, and then we have a total at the top. This will also have our like monsters and combat creatures will be right along here once we get some. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Next tab is the room tab. We only have 2 rooms right now, but later on in the game more will be added, and a lot more. So there's definitely a variety of rooms that you can have in your dungeon. This next part of our thing shows a resize panel. So you if you want to get a bigger view, you can push that panel down out of the way. This is our little updates hub right here, and new things will slide down as we get updates. For now, just our main objective is on here. Kill Lord Antonius and get his portal gem. That's our main objective. And then we have sub-objectives that we can also fulfill. Alright, so that's the entire interface. Now, and then of course the zoom for the minimap. Anyway, that's our entire interface. Now I will finally listen to the guy and dig this gold. So see,
Well
as my
done.
imps are going right
And
away.
now your faithful servant imps will carry back your gold
Of
to
course.
dungeon heart.
I know.
Once here, it can be spent. The golden scale atop the screen keeps track of your reserves.
He's claiming the territory for
A
me.
start indeed. But more gold
So now
is
I'm going
required.
to make a room.
12,000 units should be mined.
I plan on this being my lair, which is this first room. It's a place for your creatures to sleep. So not imps, they don't need to sleep. They're my little workers. I'll work them to death. They're like slaves. But creatures that come to my dungeon for combat and get paid, they do need a place to sleep. As well as this second room, which is a hatchery. That is a place for the monsters to eat.
Red flowers float above your imps. These give measure to their health. Their skill acquired and reflect the simple thoughts within.
Alright, so what he just said basically is that these guys, the red petals around their little circle up there is their health bar. If that gets to 0, they die. And their little number in the middle is what level they are. My imps gain levels based on digging and stuff, but most creatures gain levels based on fighting or coming in the training room. So see, he's claiming the territory, and my mana is increased. My mana per minute or per second is increasing. I'm going to create another small room down here to be my hatchery, so I am able to feed creatures that will eventually come into my room. I have almost the required amount of gold, And
The lair.
I'm going to actually spend some of
A
this
place of
gold
rest
just to
where
make a little
creatures
lair.
sleep to
But I'm
calm
going to
their
wait until I
tempers
get till
and restore
12
their health.
12,000, just so that he doesn't whine at me or anything.
Excellent work, Keeper. You are ready to recruit more creatures to your cause. See? A portal near your dungeon heart, to where your imps must dig. They'll claim this portal to be yours. You'll see what beasts emerge.
So besides your dungeon heart, portals are the most important rooms that you can find, or have, because they are what allows creatures to actually come into your dungeon.
Your dungeon heart is full of gold. No more than 16,000.
Oh my god, I know. I've played Dungeon Keeper before. I would turn him off, but his voice is just so cool, I can't resist leaving it on. I'm sorry, I just wanted to share it with you. I have to. Now, I'm going to oblige him and start my imps digging into this room. But this is where creatures come into your world. If they like your dungeon, say like they like that you have a big lair, which is what I'm going to build, then they'll
Your
come
lair
to your
is
dungeon.
built. Now
If
right
they like
click
that
to cancel building.
Some
mode.
creatures require other types of things. I don't know why I did that right there. I'm sorry, guys. But see, now I can use the sell tool to sell back one of my buildings that I made. Now, if creatures like your dungeon, they'll come to it. So certain rooms attract certain creatures, is what I was trying to say earlier. Now he's claiming territory, and see, I can't build on territory that I don't have claimed. So it's very important
The
that what my
hatchery.
imps claim them.
A place where creatures feed on favored food. The eggs will hatch and chickens then emerge to satisfy their appetites.
Alright, now I've claimed this portal,
Behold
so
your
soon
portal.
something should
The
come
gate
through.
through which new creatures enter your domain.
Oh look, a
Look
goblin.
well. A goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful fighting force.
So basically, goblin, they're really weak, but if you got a
must
bunch of
build
them,
a
they're strong.
hatchery.
Good.
Click here. Select the
So
symbol
he
of the
wants
chick.
me to
Then
make
click
a
over
hatchery.
empty tiles of land you've claimed to build the hatchery.
And just because he has such a mesmerizing deep voice, I will oblige him and create
Good
a hatchery
progress,
in this room.
Keeper. See? Your goblins are well rested in their lair, and their bellies full with juicy chicken flesh. Now keep watch, for very soon more goblins will arrive, and then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord Antonius.
It looks like it's about payday, or maybe very far from payday. I don't know if it counts up or down right away. We'll see. I'm gonna have my imps dig this gold out, just for no reason. I mean, we've basically gotten through most of the game. This map is very small. All of the maps preceding this and after this will be a lot larger and more intricate. For this map, it's just, it's the first map. They don't want to freak you out with all this complicated mumbo jumbo. Now, as my goblins come in here, they're creating beds for themselves, and then they sort of just wander around because we don't really have many rooms yet except for to feed and sleep them. Some of the other rooms, they will be able to entertain themselves through either training, reading books, or like creating gizmos in my workshop. So good, I've taken all the gold that there seems to be in this territory for myself. Without much to spend it on, though, it feels like a waste.
I sense a breach.
A breach.
The servants of Antonius have broken through your walls.
These are the goodly heroes.
And you can move your gaze to see them now by right-clicking on the flashing blade.
Now, I've sent all of my forces to combat
It is
these
only
dwarfs.
who, feeble as they are, pose little threat against your goblins.
And my goblins are able to easily dispatch them.
Creature up.
And he's running
To
in
drop
fear.
him, right-click anywhere on your land. The hapless enemy dwarfs
Good.
are being crushed.
And my phone goes off.
Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death,
Sorry
you'll
about that,
see
guys.
only one last petal shows.
I hope it didn't... If you guys heard... Yeah, it's still going off. I'm sorry about that, guys. I hope it didn't cause too much of a disturbance for you. Alright, so what you can... This is something else special. This imp here, he's fortifying this wall. That means it's going to be much harder for me and my opponents to dig through. So I don't want him to do that. I actually want him to dig this wall. because I want to get here, which will bring us to
Your
another
goblin
part of
force is
it.
large enough to challenge Lord Antonius for his portal gem.
Another part of the
Tunnel
game
north and you will
is
find your
finding.
smug opponent skulking in his keep.
Oh, he never shuts up. Another part of this game is finding these things. They're little like presents or gifts or whatever. They do something magical for you. Usually, if an imp finds one, he'll take it back to your library.
I see
However,
you have discovered a magical
oh
item.
yes, we know it's a magical item. Jesus. All right. Usually, our imps will take it back to our library. However, we have not unlocked the library room yet, so it will stay there until I decide to use it. Now, what it does is we'll raise all of my minions' experience by 1 level. So, like all of my goblins that I have, they're all basically level 1. I don't think any of them really got to level 2 or anything. So this will make so that all of my goblins, or any of the number of creatures that I have, will be increased to the next level. And there's many of these hidden in many parts of the map, and they're really helpful to find. And they have many different little like cool things that they do. Some reveal the whole map, some increase the level, some give you mana or gold. So they vary much in like what effects they have and how awesome they are.
The time has come for you to face Lord Antonius.
So I'm going to use
Tag
this.
the flashing tiles.
And I'm
Your
gonna
imps will
listen.
tunnel to his keep.
Yes, I know how to play Dungeon Keeper.
Your
Thank you.
creatures have been blessed with experience.
Now all of my creatures, including my imps, are level 2, which means that they're able to fight better and all of the normal things that come with a game where you level up. So I'm going to grab all of my goblins in preparation because I know that Lord Antonius is hiding around here and that we might break through to him.
Away,
Yep,
keeper.
I was right.
You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways.
So I'm going to drop all my goblins.
The feeble Lord
They're stunned for a few seconds, but they can get up quickly enough to fight him.
Out of a special shape. This marks him down as your prime target.
Now my
Take
goblins
him
will
out.
slay him, and I have
Bravo.
defeated the first level.
Lord Antonius is fallen. The portal gem lies aside his helpless form.
The portal
In
gem?
wait for Horny to collect it, so it's yours. And comes he now.
So this is our like main demon guy. He's gonna go collect the portal gems and go pick it up for us, I guess, because since we're just a giant pulsating heart, I guess we're not able to pick up things like diamonds or portal gems, whatever it is. Alright, so this is the first episode of my new Let's Play for Dungeon Keeper. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you guys like this. Please let me know in the comments, because I'm curious to know what you think about this game, because I plan on doing more of these episodes, but if like nobody likes it, then what's the point? And it is a little bit old, but I ask you to please look past that, because it was really an awesome game, and still is an awesome game. And I want to thank you one more time for watching. Spray and pray out.